Welcome to the Nerdlore podcast, where we talk stories, theories, and lore. I'm one of your three hosts, Shiny Shoes.
Hey, what's up, baby? I'm Crashstarling.
Hey yo, I'm Skandle.
And today we're going to be talking about current Nerdvents as we going on. Each one of us has kind of looked outside of the world of gaming and saw what is coming up that we are interested in. And I'm going to go first today. What I'm going to tell you about is pretty much the end of the first series of Digimon. There's a movie coming out and it's going to pretty much wrap everything up together. If you're not familiar, so the first season of Digimon is one of the best received seasons of any show almost ever. And even Crash would be very upset to know that in the early 90s, Digimon actually beat out Pokemon as the #1 rated show during its airing time, especially on... Oh, it happened.
So immediately I'm just sitting here like, of course it did.
It did.
We had a monkey as a protagonist.
So the reason why I really got into it is because that series showed it gave me more than what Pokemon gave me, in the fact that people and creatures died in Digimon, like throughout the story. So you follow the story of the Digidestined through that first couple seasons. They start in the digital world, they come to the real world. That's how it ends season 1. There are many seasons and iterations that kind of go on past that. They get all kinds of crazy powers, like they learn how to digivolve with eggs and all kinds of other nonsense. But it always comes back to the original Digidestined, which kind of revolves around Ty and Matt and their relationship, and them both trying to be the leader of the group. Well, they recently came out with a series called Digimon Try. And if you have Crunchyroll, it's great. I'd recommend just checking it out. And it was supposed to be a mini-series. Well, it ended up coming out to being its whole entire fleshed-out series. They took 6 videos, cut them up, and then made it one big thing. And finally, next year, we are going to get the actual end to that story arc. So, with the way that it looks, adults can't have Digimon. And all of the characters are actually aging out of being able to have their Digimon. And the show is about... one last time those Digimon will evolve, because they're pretty much running out of time to be with them. I see you look a little confused, Crashed.
I was just like, this is like the Polar Express. Like, once you get too old, you can't believe in Santa anymore. Like, what do you mean?
So
they're digital monsters, and immediately you're talking like, we don't believe hard enough in the digital fairies, so they can't exist to us anymore.
One thing you notice is, like, the adults in the series never see the Digimon. Like, it's something they don't really notice. So maybe that plays into it. They talked about it in the trailer that you watch, and they talked about the link between the human, the Digimon, and their partner has a lot to do with that childhood curiosity and their ability to believe in things outside of the normal. And as they all age up, that kind of goes with you as you become an adult. You're more susceptible to, like, the real world and what's going on there. So they're going to explain it in the movie. It's not out yet, so we don't know all the spoilers, but in the trailer, they did show this giant watch that is on the kind of Digivices that they have, and it's counting down. So, and when it hits 0, I guess the assumption is they're gone.
I think my favorite part about the two that we've compared so far is that every like item is either like, oh, this is a Poke Watch, and it's like, this is a Digi Watch. Yeah, it's digital.
Yo, so one thing that's really funny is all the Digi part that is specifically in the American version of the show. In Japan, like, they don't call them Digivices in Japan. They don't call them Digivolve. They don't say they Digivolve. They just evolve. We added that. We added that here.
What?
We added that here. That was something we did.
Okay, I have a couple questions.
I'm ready. What are they?
What is a Digimon?
I know nothing. I know nothing about Digimon. Nothing
Okay.
at all. Okay. So bear with me here. First question: do you think that I'm gonna steal one of these questions from chat here?
Yeah.
They wanted to know if they wanted to make a comment that it's sort of like Chronicles of Narnia? Once you get to a certain age, you can't go back.
Yeah, and we don't know yet because this hasn't, like, time with the Digimon isn't something they've added into the series so far. So these were the very first group of individuals that got Digimon. They're back in season 1, and the entire series is kind of a continuity. Is that how you say it? Continuity. Yeah, there we go. Words. Well, you've watched throughout the other seasons, like, these characters, the first season characters will be sprinkled in. You'll see them and they grow up. Well, these are going to be the first ones that are actually becoming 18, 19, 20-year-old adults. So we don't know what happens 100%, and that's what's going to be here. But the way it's touting is as kind of the end of that era, or that series of Digimon.
Okay.
We don't know yet.
So, do you think that is similar to the Trick cereal, where as kids it was shapes, and now that we're adults, we don't get to see the shapes anymore?
We don't see them anymore.
Uh,
I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't know how they would forget all the stuff that happened with the Digimon. So that would be something they would have to explain, or if it's just like, hey, they don't exist anymore. You lost your link to them.
So go ahead, finish your.
It's always been kind of weird with the show, and the way it works is like, because the show starts off very like happy and go like there's some perils that happen, but it doesn't really start to get dark or really become a dark show until the Digidestined come back to Earth. Like, they aren't in the Digi world anymore. And the creators actually said, well, in the Digi world, they don't have to deal with real life problems. All they're doing is pretty much fighting Digimon. When they come back to Earth, they have to deal with the reality of, Earth sucks sometimes. Life sucks sometimes. So most of the time. So they're dealing with that. I don't know if that's going to play into it as it goes on. Like, hey, it's just going to get darker and darker, and then, hey, we can't be with them anymore. Or no more Digimon.
I forgot what person I saw this from, but there has been sayings that we're already in hell, that Earth is its first layer of hell, and humans are its demons.
My aunt says that all the time.
Maybe that's where I heard it from. No, I'm just kidding. The last question I have is, which came first, Digimon or Pokemon?
So I think the Pokemon manga came first. Everybody thinks, or not the manga, the series, right? Their game? Yeah.
The game was the first thing.
Yeah. Everybody thinks that Digimon was trying to be a copy
Pokemon
off of
ripoff?
Pokemon, which is actually 100% false.
Okay.
Digimon actually comes from Tamagotchi. The creator of Tamagotchi, was like, hey, we've got these cute little animals, but we can only really market them to, like, females at the time. Like, young girls, they liked them because they're little
it was only girls.
Yeah, you never had them, right? So what they did was they got together. So the head of Tamagotchi got with Bandai and Saban, and they're like, hey, how can we make these Tamagotchis into a series that people actually like and love? And what they ended up doing is they're like, well, boys like dinosaurs. So you see the protagonist, his main thing looks like a dinosaur and looks like giant kaijus and stuff like that. So everybody thinks it's a ripoff of Pokemon, but they were doing their own thing. They were trying to sell more Tamagotchi type stuff.
Gotcha.
And you could actually see that because there's a crossover. Like, you used to be able to get Digimon Tamagotchis. And you'd raise them, and, like, they grow up and everything, so. Well, good questions, though.
Yeah.
Why do I know
I remember
so much
they
about
had,
Digimon?
why did... How come you can still see them?
At least you don't have it in your background.
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't cover enough space to hide them.
Do you have questions or comments on this one?
Any questions?
Me?
Or Crashed?
Yeah, I really want to know more about how the whole forgetting aspect works, because it's like once you reach a certain age, is it like everyone cuts off based on what they went? Because if it's like, hey Ty, remember that time we jumped into the internet? No.
No.
Huh.
We don't know yet. They're going to be the first ones to kind of age out and we'll see how it works. But they are saying, and I remember I was watching the trailer, and this was like last week. I was watching the trailer, and I literally, after the trailer's over, I asked the person, because it was one of my friends on Twitter. She tweeted it, and I was like, why am I sad right now? Like, why does this, seeing that, make me sad? Like, think like, hey, this is a part of my childhood. I remember this growing up. This will no longer exist anymore. This is into that. So, who knows, man? That's all I got on Digimon.
I loved Digimon growing up, but I just don't know anything about it. I don't even remember. I just remember Agumon, and I remember the cat thing from the second season.
Gatomon.
Sure.
You know, gato, which is Spanish for cat.
Funny story about Gatomon. So, gato is Spanish for male cat. The writers originally wrote it in to be a male cat, but because it got partnered with Kari, which was a additional Digidestin they added in later on, they changed it to a female character because they liked the way the lady who voiced it sounded. So they're like, we'll have her do it because she sounds more calm and like nurturing for the small child that's now a Digidestin.
Fallen here says,
why do you know that?
Maybe the Digimon are just a coping mechanism for kids struggling through tough times IRL.
Like the whole thought, like Pokemon never.
I would still use Digimon. I need to get through some tough times right now.
Yeah, you know how much tough times you can get through if you fire blast like literally through a city. Like you can get through a lot of tough times. I like that same thought that Pokemon never really happened, and Ash got hit by lightning, and he's just in a coma the entire time. Like, yeah, maybe we. I don't know. We'll have to see what they do with the end of it. I'll let you guys know after I see it in theaters, because I'm gonna try to find if there's any. They're only showing it in 15 theaters around the world. If there's any way I can get to one of these theaters, I'm gonna go.
Nice.
We'll see.
Good luck, buddy.
I know.
Good luck.
One's gonna be right down the street.
Crash, are you okay with me talking about how excited I am for my next thing?
Yeah, go for it.
Or do you have more questions before we move?
No. Go for it.
All right. Any other questions here? It doesn't look like we have any questions in chat after the last one I asked. So for me, I'm excited for two things, and they're both in conjunction with Magic the Gathering. Okay. The first one, I know we were supposed to stick away from video gaming, but this first part's going to be really quick. They are coming out with, and only because there's not a lot of information, they're coming out with a Magic the Gathering MMO. Called Magic Legends. Super excited about this. This was announced back in like 2017, but we're supposed to get a lot more information and maybe a release date coming in January. So super stoked about that one. It's created by the same company that did D&D Neverwinter, Star Trek Online, and City of Heroes. It's called Perfect World, and the subsidiary Cryptic Studios, that's who's going to actually do it. We will probably put a link to the new video that they've released. It's just a minute-long cinematic. Not a whole lot. I will say that there were some really cool graphics. I know that they're cinematic, so we don't know if that's how that's actually going to be in the game. But Crash and I watched it today, and noted that the goblins, even like their outfits they're wearing, it's pretty clear. It's pretty cool. So excited about that one.
I was thinking about that too. Like, man, when I watched that video at the Game Awards, I was thinking that same thing. I was like, I am so pumped for this. Magic is life. I love that game. I was wondering what they're gonna do with it. So remember last week, and we're not gonna spend too long on this, but remember last week we were talking about how you like how great it would be to be in an MMO where you were like you had to answer a gajillion questions, then it just puts you in. Okay, so Magic has a ability to do something really cool here by giving you guilds. So, like, you choose your schools of magic, and the schools of magic do different things, and they make your character play differently. So, like, when you go through the City of Guilds like Ravnica, you get two colors, and the way your two colors combine determine how you do things. So, like, Gruul is green-red, and it's all about beating the hell out of everything. So that would be, I think that would be something I would look forward to in the game. Like, hey, I can be a white mage and a red mage, and
It's got to be a white mage.
Just imagine you're just like, people come up to you in the game like, oh, what school of magic? You know, which ones did you choose? And I'm like, oh, I'm Gruul. I'm Gruul
Punch.
magic.
I am
Yes,
Gruul.
I am Gruul.
I am Gruul.
I have all my minions.
Listen. I don't know if you play really any Magic, Crash, but Gruul is exactly what you're thinking. Like, just smash your face in. Their leader, his card special ability is if you cast a spell that isn't a creature spell. If you're not playing creatures, he deals 6 damage to you. You only got 20 life, so
Right.
Gruul smash.
So the only other thing I want to say about this MMO is that it's supposed to be free to play, just like Neverwinter was. However, if it's going to take the same path that Neverwinter had, yes, it's free to play. However, you don't really get to have the most fun until you spend. I think it was $4.99 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
And $5, it's still cheaper than WoW or any of the other MMOs that cost a monthly subscription. So, but I have really high hopes about this. I hate. I have ADHD real badly. You can ask Crashed. I enjoy these kind of MMOs, but I get real bored with questing quickly. Like I'm okay with like grabbing a bunch of quests and then going and doing them. While I'm doing them, I'm fine. But then once I turn them in and then they're like, okay, here's another stack of quests to go do. I'm like,
Oh, we're done here, boys.
I'll do this in a little bit.
I think my favorite questing system was from Guild Wars 2. If either of you guys played that.
Oh yeah, what a great game.
Guild Wars 2 had a great questing system. Specifically, like you got a ton of experience early when you just mapped out areas.
Yep.
So they would try to make them as pretty and interesting and like filled with stuff as they could, so it incentivized you. Like the reward was basically discovering the world, which should be every MMO's goal. Why would you not want people to explore this giant world you've created?
Right.
But I used to play a ton of Neverwinter, and that's the reason that almost every MMO I play, I'm always a tank. Always a tank.
Yeah.
Because
I
I always
played the Warlock. I've always played that even in World Warcraft.
Never when I played the Control Mage. Literally just...
Yeah.
Don't you give me that look. The tanks were useless if you just put them in the air. Just...
Yeah, that was my favorite. Yeah, anytime...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, that was my favorite for dungeons, where it was just you pull aggro into the center, and then the Control Mage is like, oh, alley-oop, everyone. Leviosa. Like,
what a great class.
Gotta get that timestamp.
Yeah.
My wife played a hunter at first, and then she leveled the trickster rogue after that, and that was hands down was the trickster rogue.
Oh, yeah.
It's the only game that I've gotten her to play where she was like she played it nonstop because she loved it. She's also the only game I think I've seen her pay to play. She paid the $5. Like she really enjoyed Neverwinter. She just got really so.
I would say I'm super hopeful for this just because it's made by these people.
Right.
They announced the new D&D game by that studio as well, didn't they?
I'm not sure. I did not look into that. I haven't heard.
Well, Baldur's Gate. Sorry.
Baldur's Gate. Yeah. Of course, the original. I mean, I played.
Oh yeah. I remember watching that and like I had no idea what was going on during that trailer, and it was literally just.
They have Baldur's Gate on phone now, so you can play it. Yeah. All right. So, that's all I have for the Magic Legends, the MMO Magic the Gathering. It's gonna be. I'm super excited. I know we were supposed to stay away from video games, but I don't care. I'm really excited.
No, I'm not staying with between this developer and just actually, you know what's just this developer. Even if they don't use any Magic the Gathering stuff or not enough, I love this developer for MMOs. Yeah. I want this.
Yeah, Cryptic.
I want a new MMO I can grind out that's not WoW.
Cryptic Studios.
Please don't fail me.
So before I move on to the actual stuff I'm excited for, are there any questions? Is anybody from chat or anything like that about Magic Legends, MMO for Magic the Gathering?
I'm Pretty excited about it. Who knows what they're gonna actually bring to the table? No idea, but I'm just excited to see how they put the powers together and then let us explore that world. Like, am I gonna get to meet famous magic characters? Do I get to meet Urza? Do I get to meet Nicol Bolas? Well, I think he's dead now, but
my guess is yes, absolutely. Okay,
R.I.P.
so no
Nicol
questions.
Bolas.
We're gonna move on. So the other thing I'm excited for is also from Magic the Gathering, and it is an animated series that is coming. I haven't heard where it's going to be on. I think I heard it from Netflix. That's
Yeah,
what I
Netflix.
thought I heard, but I didn't want to throw that out there without being 100% sure. My colleague here has confirmed that it is Netflix. So just to give a little information about this, they did try a while ago in 2001. I think again in like 2011, they tried to come out with a movie for Magic the Gathering, but it never gained traction. So this series is completely new. It doesn't have anything to do with the script that maybe leaked out from those back in the day. The really cool thing that I'm excited for is who's all getting their hands dirty in this series. I don't know if you know who Joe and Anthony Russo are, but they are the producers from the Infinity War and Endgame Avengers series. So they are going to be executive producing this animated series. They're going to oversee the creation of a new storyline. And all my notes are over here, so that's why I'm looking over here. And they're just going to expand on the Planeswalker story. So what's really cool also is the creative talent that's kind of getting combined into this company. They've done things such as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I thought was amazing.
Honestly,
go
that's
ahead.
like my favorite Marvel movie, to be honest with you. I think it's like the best one. Like,
it was
I didn't
very
know about
well done.
it. Wait, what? Who is coming in from? Is that like the animation studio?
Yes. Yeah, from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Yes, the creative minds that brought that together. So my tattoos are all graffiti. So graffiti. I've when I was younger, we grew up kind of poor. Graffiti was everywhere. I don't, maybe that's why I like it so much, because that's what I've grown up with. But graffiti, I just love that. Or I hate art, but I could look at graffiti all day long. That's why I love being out here in the St. Louis area. Is you can drive across the bridge and just see like amazing graffiti. And I always wonder like how they do it at like the bottom of a bridge. Like obviously they didn't bring a ladder out there because it's on a road. Did they hang upside down? And are you upside down capable of doing these drawings of graffiti? Because it's pretty amazing in the first place. But to do it upside down, I don't know how they do it, but it's freaking awesome. And I love it. And like trains that go. Okay. Anyway, so let's get off. So anyway, that's why I really liked Into the Spider-Verse. I thought that was I was in the moment I saw that it was
a great movie. Great movie.
Literally, they're in like the second part of the Triforce for this perfection, like this trifecta.
But wait, there's more. So not only is it the creative talent from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, right? We have creative talent from Batman the Animated Series, Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
The best Star Wars.
Oh yeah. Firefly.
Okay.
Agent Carter, Ultimate Spider-Man, and the Lego movies. All these creative minds coming together.
Everything is awesome.
It's like I don't want to be disappointed, but I'm like, how could you mess this up with all these amazing minds? So I'm super excited. There's still more. So Bardell Entertainment, they're gonna handle all the animation. So Bardell is a company from Canada. They've worked with studios like Nickelodeon Studios, DreamWorks, Warner Brothers, Funrise, and Adult Swim. Some of the more common things they've been working on right now, I don't know if you're familiar with Rick and Morty.
Yeah, heard of it.
The animation for that, yeah. The Dragon Prince, Teen Titans Go, and DC Superhero Girl. So it's like you have amazing producers, amazing creative minds, and then amazing animators, and it's just like let's just put this all together.
Are we gonna?
My last thing is I want that voice actor list. I want that voice actor list.
I don't know if they have it yet.
They don't. There's no way.
But it's coming. It's supposed to come out in 2020. So I mean, it's
Crash.
got to be.
Yeah.
Crash, do you think we're finally going to get our first anime lore series from Skandle? He's going to come in and go, guys, I want to talk about anime again. I've got a good one.
No.
I got a good one.
Yeah, I'm not saying no because I'm not getting excited for it, but
He just walks in like, watashi wa Skandle desu.
Soro nan desu ka?
So nan desu ka?
Yeah, exactly. Something about the sky. No. So I did watch the Castlevania series because I played those games growing up, so I really liked that. So it's not that I'm not anti-anime. It's got to be a kind that I walked upstairs. My wife was watching that Academy one.
My Hero Academia.
Yes. And I came up there with the bandage dude. The dude who's throwing bandages around or whatever. Yeah. And I watched for a little bit the dude with the hand like on his face. I had no idea what was going on, but I thought the fight scenes were kind of cool. I don't have anything against anime. It's just I didn't watch it growing up. I'm old, so I was too old whenever Dragon Ball Z was out. Like I was, I wasn't old, but I also didn't have like cable, so that may also be why I didn't get into it. So yeah, I'm super stoked for this series to come. Yeah.
I'm with it. They've got a lot of story already built. So you said they're going to come out with new characters for it?
No,
as far as we know, who knows?
It's a whole new story. So whatever may have been leaked from the previous, like 2001, 2011, or whatever, when they tried to come out with these movies, it's a whole new storyline, and it's created and overseen by the Russo brothers.
Every promo pic I've seen for it has Chandra like on the cover. Like you could she's in shadows, but you could tell it's Chandra because fire is like her big thing. So they recently, I don't know if you know, like you're kept up with anything. They came out with like these magic books, like the little book series. The problem was when they went with the book series, they didn't follow the lore of magic really at all. They just kind of made stories with them. And it got a lot of backlash in the community because Chandra is a bisexual character. And in the book, they're just like, nope, that's not true.
I think they've pretty much kept it hush-hush. I looked today, all day today to try to find some updated information because I've had these notes, but there wasn't anything like not that I could find that like gave any information on what we're looking at storylines. The only thing I got was they're going to do a brand new storyline and expand on Planewalker stories.
That's really cool.
So maybe it'll be a thing where for first few episodes it'll be about this one, and then it'll be about this one, and then this one, and eventually how they come together.
Yeah.
Or they may not bring it together. It could be a series based on this Planeswalker, and then the next season is based on this one, and then you know what I mean. I really couldn't find much about the storyline, but I'm so stoked. I'm pretty excited.
I know we've already discussed multiple times about a future date talking about card games as we come on, and we'll get into some Magic in one of those episodes. So that's great though. I'm excited with you. I mean.
All right. So, any questions from you guys? Any questions from chat based on Magic Legends or the new Magic the Gathering animated series coming?
I was just wondering, can we bookmark like a countdown to when that comes out for?
When I get one, it'll be up. It'll be up. I promise.
It'll be hung, above his like stream room right there.
We'll have one in the office as well.
Yeah.
Oh, we will.
I'm gonna get it tattooed.
You're gonna get a tattooed clock.
Yeah, every day
Yeah, most people just call it a watch.
Is that it? The first tattoo of a GIF?
Yeah.
No. It's actually what was the name of that movie with?
Oh yeah. They
Justin
have
Timberlake.
it's
like Out of Time or Taking Time, whatever it was called.
And he's got like the wrist time. Yeah.
How much time they had left to live on their wrists.
Gotta get one of those, boys. All right. What about you, Crash?
Hey, what up? So there's this. Okay, so a small time company started out, and what they're trying to do is compete. It's a really small company though. You probably never heard of it. It's called Didsney, I think. It's hard to pronounce. Yeah. So Didsney came out with a new streaming service to compete with Netflix, and they are releasing a bunch of like really small like foreign films. You probably haven't seen a few of them, but there's this new one called The Mandalorian. There's a new show, and
Yeah.
people won't shut up about the baby frog thing.
Okay.
Baby.
Okay.
Alright, first
Baby
of all,
goat.
I was fine
not
with
a
you
frog.
mispronouncing everything. I figured you were gonna say something about Hulk, but how dare you, sir? How dare you?
I feel
I'm just as
attacked.
tired as a lot of people who have seen the Baby Yoda gifs and memes,
They're
but
everywhere.
how dare you, sir? How dare I know where you live.
I am not a fan of baby yogurt.
Listen, it's not yogurt. That's Spaceballs. Listen.
No.
Now, I mean, we don't know what he is, and that's like one of the contentious point of it because nobody knows what that species is actually called. But man, what a great show!
Yeah.
I just started watching it, and I wanted to say that I wasn't super impressed, but at the same time, I was still having a decent time watching it. It was just, it's kind of like if you don't watch Star Wars, this is not for you. So for me, who is only up to movie number 2, which I know I must relinquish at least half of my nerd card, but I am only up to movie 2. So I know what these characters are for the most part, but I'm just sitting here like, I don't know what is happening. Why is the baby 50 years old? That's cool. That's not how babies work, but okay.
Nobody knows yet.
Yeah.
Why would how would evolution work that a baby could be 50 years old?
Well,
how would they
Deep
survive?
into the series.
Listen.
Have you even gotten to Yoda, who he is? Like,
Yeah.
okay, so he's been around for a long
time.
I know, but you just kind of assume that he's born old.
But you got to think of it too. We have species on Earth that live for like a long time, and you got to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
but there's no reason that no species on Earth even has. We as humans, I think, have the longest maturity period of like 18 years or like 16 years for the body, and then like 26 to develop your brain fully. But his body has not even entered like a growth period yet.
So let's just remember, this all happened long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Far away, yes, it
So
did.
we don't know.
I just don't understand.
Listen, the Thor and Asgardians live to be 5,000 years old. Okay,
Yeah,
you don't know what's going on out there. Okay.
No, I don't. It doesn't matter. I'm not talking about how old they are. I'm talking about why is this baby 50 years old?
We don't know.
Why is it still a baby?
Listen, you're asking questions, and right. You're asking questions about a species.
I'm the only one
backstory
asking questions.
Has never really been delved into. You never really learned a lot about Yoda in the beginning. So
yeah, well, I don't think they thought it through very well.
I think they thought it through just fine.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
what
Buster?
What baby could survive for 50 years?
He wasn't alone. He was with all those.
He was in fact alone.
Well, he was in like a little cryopod thing, and somebody
Of people taking care of him.
Yeah, they were raiders. They're nice.
My only thing is like, I just don't understand who takes a hit out on a baby.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to find out later.
I hope I find out.
So
I want that baby dead.
So
I want his family. Okay,
dead. They're all dead.
All dead.
So your knowledge of the Star Wars universe is very minimal, right?
It's limited.
I've seen so many memes.
That helps. That helps. You know about the high ground. Everybody knows about that.
Perhaps the archives are incomplete. Hello there.
You have to think about it like this. Think about it as a reverse dog years. Okay, dogs every year 7 years for a dog, right? So
yeah, but they mature in a couple of
the dogs
months.
now. I read this one amazing thing on it, and it was unbelievably. It was awesome. Basically, somebody started a Reddit that just said, to dogs, humans must seem like immortals. And then someone wrote like a paragraph, and it was like, as his bones and as his hair turns gray and his bones become weak, as do mine, and he's been around for my forefathers, my grandpas, my great great grandpa, and it was So to dogs, we humans
Yeah.
are immortals. So this species could easily be. Think about it. If they live to be 5,000, right? 50 is how old? Right? We're talking about
No
1 year old.
time. You can see he hates it, but
Because it makes sense.
But
It's
I'm not
bro.
talking about how old he can be. I'm just saying my only qualm with this is that there should never be a baby that can survive through natural selection that lives to be 50 and is still a baby.
Have you seen how cute that thing is, though?
Listen, you
Cute
don't
and
need to know.
edible.
You don't need to know what the backstory is
Yeah.
when it makes that face and looks at you like that with its watery eyes.
Yeah.
And pushes buttons like a child in the car. Like,
Yeah.
I swear to God, I've hit my daughter multiple times for doing the same thing.
They said that we're gonna learn more about Baby Yoda's backstory as the series goes on, so we'll just have to wait and see.
So shut up and color.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
while
that's
you
fine.
watch The Mandalorian.
Here's his backstory. He's been a baby for 50 years. Somehow he lived.
Okay.
Listen,
I'm
Anyway,
not
this is
salty as...
This is supposed to be what you're excited about.
This
not
is
what-
just... I'm excited to find out how
I
this
know you
baby
can see
survived.
my bat here. I will bring this to
Listen,
work and beat sense into you.
we're gonna get the backstory episode, and it's gonna be like he's just been fooling us this whole time, and he's gonna be like on the Senate floor, and he's like doing Jedi flips with Yoda and stuff. Like,
Okay.
How far
cool
have
would
you
that be?
gotten into the show?
Three episodes.
Have you seen where he had to get the egg?
Yes.
And you saw what he could do? What Baby Yoda could do?
Yeah, I saw what he
So
could do.
you can't expect him to not live. Those people probably worshipped him as a god because of what he did one time, and they took care of him for 50 years.
Yep.
They will.
I
get
am
into the
okay
backstory.
with that answer.
They
Yeah,
will get
so-
into the backstory.
Yeah.
Just be patient.
All right.
I
There
have
was
more.
one other... Okay.
I have more question into it. Maybe just go into there. Are you, so you're not anti Star Wars? What keeps you from going into Star Wars?
That Sith movie has kept me from watching any more Star Wars. That first remake, I couldn't get. I haven't watched a single one after that.
I've loved all of them for everything they've done.
An unpopular opinion: I don't think the kid who does Anakin Skywalker is that great of an actor. I think he's terrible.
Is it really that unpopular of an opinion? I'm on movie 2, and all I've seen him do is complain.
I'm sorry, I don't know if that's poor directing, poor producing, poor script writing. I don't know what it is, but that guy is not a good actor, and it's hard to get locked into those movies watching somebody who can't act.
And
it was fun in the first movie because he's like, you know, every child's wet dream of racing like these
pod
giant
racers,
yeah, pod racing. And then he spends most of the second movie complaining, and then in the third one, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen Star Wars, he kills babies for some reason. He kills babies for some of that good. He's like, look, we gotta do what we gotta do. I'm dry right now. I gotta go kill some babies. There's no big deal. There's more babies. You know, there's 50-year-old babies out there. Chill out.
Hey, listen, I'm all for doing that for something. This world needs a new plague. Many people's here.
Yeah.
I was like,
People's.
yeah.
I enjoy, like, as we're kind of talking about that Disney Plus because, well, one, they own everything, and I thought the monopolies were illegal, but obviously not. They own everything, but they've already confirmed that we're going to be getting other TV shows that will be actual canon in the Star Wars universe, because you have millions of books, but they already said no, those are not canon. Those don't exist. So I'm excited that they're bringing those stories and they're saying, yeah, this is the real.
There's only one TV show that'll ever exist for me in the Star Wars universe, and it was animated, and it's called The Clone Wars.
What a great show.
Another reason that I'm a huge fan of Disney Plus is my daughter has, she's a teenager now, and so she doesn't like to do anything with parents because it's uncool.
Yeah, of course.
But she has never watched and never been interested in, but we have started watching the Marvel series in chronological.
Oh yeah.
And it's because of Disney Plus
you can do that
we've been able to sit down, watch movies together, have a good time, and I think it's done a lot for our relationship. We had issues with her struggling in school because she didn't care anymore because she's a teenager, but ever since then she's doing better. So I'm not saying that that's attributed to Disney Plus or whatever, but I do think the family time, spending time together, has
That-
improved other activities. So anyway,
I think there's a bunch of really old shows that I remember because I mean I'm right in that age where you watch Disney Channel. That's what you watch. You watch the Disney Channel. Don't you say boomer. You watched the Disney Channel when you got off school because they had shows Even Stevens, Lizzie McGuire, That's So Raven, yeah. A Boy Meets
No,
World.
I saw all of these shows growing up, so you're not
Yeah.
quite out of the range there.
Yeah, so like I remember all those growing up, and I remember even my wife. I gave her a box set of Boy Meets World for like our second year Christmas together because she wanted that. She's like, I've never got to watch all the way through, and now it's all there. It's just there for her to watch. Well, she does the box set, but I don't know if Boy Meets World is. But movies like that, like Lizzie McGuire, stuff like that.
didn't
I
the
know Lizzie
girl
McGuire is
from-
specifically on there, but they also had the Proud
Lizzie
Family.
McGuire is. I've seen that one because she watched it the other day.
didn't the girl from Boy Meets World become a porn star?
I hope so.
He's like, I finally get to live out my childhood fantasy.
I
don't-
think
I
it
don't
was
know.
Boy Meets World.
She-
It was one of those shows.
They redid the show and they brought Girl Meets World, and I know she was on that. It was the same actor. I don't know. It might not. Maybe I don't know if it was Boy Meets World. It might have been one of the other shows like that. Blossom, was that around the same time?
I don't think it was Blossom. I think it was Boy Meets World.
Maybe, and that's a possibility.
Although I do believe Six might have. She seems like she would have turned into being one from Blossom. Blossom's way before Sean's time because I was really young when that show was out.
Just a
The only
great
thing I
show.
really remember was "Whoa"
Whoa.
from Joey.
Alright.
Anyway, so go ahead with your Disney World.
So Disney Plus is a streaming service. We've got Pixar movies, we've got old Disney movies, all the old animated ones. You've got the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and you've got the Star Wars universe. And this is all they're coming out with new programs. They've only announced a few. Like if you can Google search them. There's a few right here. Mandalorian is ongoing right now.
Mara Jade.
What is it?
Mara Jade. Mara
I have
Jade.
no idea. I have no idea
All
what
of
that is.
along with all those movies, we're gonna get Punisher and Daredevil back on.
Are they? Do you know? Are they going to bring the original cast?
I don't know.
Could you?
But if they don't bring, I can't think of his name right now,
The
back
guy
for the
from
Punisher, I won't watch it.
Yeah,
that guy is the epitome of. He is the Punisher.
I couldn't see another Punisher. I couldn't see another Luke Cage. They had the perfect Luke Cage, and I think the guy that played Matt Murdock in Daredevil,
Yes, did an amazing job.
absolutely perfect. Like, it's a shame
John
that
Bernthal.
it's a shame that Netflix lost that series because I don't think there was a single season that I didn't enjoy of those. I mean, Jessica Jones,
it was not good.
Yeah, it's so slow.
And Luke Cage,
It's almost like they were.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's almost like if they released a new X-Men movie and then they just cast like Alan Rickman as Wolverine. It's
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller is Wolverine, and we're just like, who is that? That's Wolverine. No,
So-
that's Honey Badger. You can take that over there.
He's Honey Badger.
He's Honey Badger.
No,
yeah.
the thing that I don't know if you knew this or not about the first Daredevil season, but it was done with a single camera. So
Wow.
everything that happened, every action scene, everything that happened was done with one camera. So if they messed up, they had to start all over again. So I don't remember if you know this about, but in the very first season, they did a fight scene where he
The hallway?
fights. Yeah, he fights all of the bikers, and he goes through the hallway and then all the way down the stairs. And that it's like a six minute fight scene, and it's all shot with one camera, and it won.
Yeah.
Because of how well that. I mean that show. So I watched that one first because
Yeah.
it came out first, and when I saw John Bernthal come and play the Punisher, I was like, oh my god, give this guy his own series because when he was in, I'm reading some chat here, when he was in The Walking Dead, he was hands down my favorite character in the first season of
Oh,
Walking
yeah.
Dead because he was what I would have done. Like at that point, I'm sorry, like I'm all having a group of people, but if it's me or you, or if I'm there to save a kid, I'm sorry. I got to do what I got to do to get this stuff to where it needs to go.
Mhm.
I'm not going to try to kill you, but if I don't have to outrun a bunch of zombies, I just have to out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I guess I'm a sadist.
No, I mean that's right though. I mean, everybody, like we all want to say that we're gonna be the Rick or the like group person, but honestly, I think there's a lot more Negans than any other group of people there are in the world.
I think you'd see somebody like Negan rise so strong because you'd see a lot non-confrontational. I just want to survive. I'd rather have a group of people fight for me, and if that means I have to be somewhat of a slave, whatever I have to do to survive and not have to actually get my hands dirty myself.
Yep. Yep.
Anyway, I didn't mean to go completely off topic. Sean, go with your
Okay.
Disney thing. I'll sit here quietly.
The last thing that I've heard that is announced that is the pinnacle of what I'm looking forward to is the Falcon and Winter Soldier, TV show. I made a joke about like, oh, I really hope it's a romantic comedy, but like it's just two like frat bros chilling in an apartment together, and they just happen to fight crime. Like they don't even focus on that. But I think that'd be funnier, but everyone would lose their mind. So I'm just looking forward to seeing what they're gonna do with the Captain America mantle, first of all. Secondly, what they're gonna do with Bucky's mental state.
Yeah.
And like I want to see how he's gonna develop now that he's,
pretty much alone.
Yeah, he's basically alone. Like his best friend got to live his life, all that. You know what? The last thing that doesn't make sense to me is that if Bucky is now, we'll talk about that later, actually. But I want to bring up if Bucky is reformed and he could go back in time. He could have gone back in time with Steve, and they could have lived their lives out as best buddies. But Steve was like,
"I got something else for you to think about."
So
Bucky became good because of Steve, right?
Right.
So if Steve decided to not pursue the life he pursued and grew up with, what's her name?
Peggy Carter.
Yeah, Peggy Carter. What happened to Bucky?
In time travel, man, it's always everything
he's not
breaks.
A good guy anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there was we don't have to get into theories about that just yet. We can get a whole new episode on the theories of the Marvel timeline.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Only a few.
But that's all I got. Do you guys have anything you're looking forward to from Disney Plus?
Wanda and Vision.
Yep.
So Scarlet Witch, and I always get
Scarlet Witch thing.
I love Scarlet Witch. So strong. That I think that's gonna be cool. I like her story, and I feel like it's a shame that out of all the characters that got their own movies, and I didn't get a Scarlet Witch movie.
The thing that bothers me the most about Vision was he was, made out to be this crazy strong, in the Age of Ultron, and then we get into Endgame, and he's just this big pansy.
Wrecked.
Well, they did worse to Thor. They did it worse to Thor.
Yeah.
Where Thor was able to almost one-shot, and then he played video games for a couple of years, and I'm like, he's still Thor.
Went through massive depression, and he was very big into self-doubt, which I think some of us understand more than others.
It's fair. It is a fair. He's also not human. But I
don't think you can sit there. He almost chose a more life to stay on Earth.
Right. But like my point to get across is, as someone who has been in, military service, do you ever stop being like combat ready? Do you ever do those instincts go away?
They deteriorate.
They will deteriorate, but they don't go away. But Thor almost felt like not like a different character. He just didn't feel like Thor. He was nerfed to the ground because as a plot point, he would have destroyed Thanos.
I don't. There's certain things that never go away, I guess. Like I still can't sit with my back to the door. I have to be able to see everything that comes in and out.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know. It is what it is. You look for exits. It's anyway. It's not a big deal. So
Yeah.
anyway, go ahead.
I mean, he's still, and this again, we could talk hours about power levels in Marvel, but I think at the end of the movie when everybody suits back up and he just zap and he's got all of his power back and everything else like that, I think that's important to his character because, like you're saying, I mean, just because he played video games and everything else like that, he didn't lose all of his powers, but was he the Thor that he was from the first couple movies? No. And I think if you look at what they're going to do, I think the next Thor movie will be kind of that quest. Like, hey, how do I get back to where I was? And then, of course, we'll get Natalie Portman Thor by the end of it, which is
Probably.
what I'm assuming.
Well, I think it'll be funny to watch an entire Rocky training montage as a Thor movie, but
Dun, dun, dun.
yeah, that's what I've assumed this movie will be. Is just you ever watch Cars, the series Cars?
Yes.
Yeah. Spoiler alert from the third movie: Lightning McQueen retires, and then some person we met at the beginning of the movie we didn't even know raced became his whatever. That's going to be this Thor movie, guaranteed.
Hey, because we're getting close to our hour, we have 3 minutes left, and I know there's no way that we put all this into 3 minutes, but Fallen from chat, and I know you're gonna like this one, Shiny, says Disney Plus needs to make an origin show about Palpatine's fall to Sith and rise to power.
Man, the amount of great stories they could go with in Star Wars. We're gonna get Darth Maul in the Obi-Wan. Like that their fates are kind of intertwined. There's so many good ones. What happened to Ahsoka? What happened to Ahsoka? When are we getting her show?
You
It'd be
messed up.
cool.
You're gonna make him nerd.
No, okay, yeah, no.
We don't have time.
There's so many
It's time
good
to wrap.
there's so many good things we could go into. They just have to do it, and that's a reason to sell Disney Plus alone. If you say, "Hey, I'm gonna come out with 4 Star Wars series next year," all right, you can have my $4.99 a month for at least a year.
$6.99, by the way.
But totally worth if you're a football fanatic like myself, or if you also watch Hulu. Totally worth getting the entire package, because you get ESPN Plus and Hulu with your Disney Plus. And I think I think it's $12.99, which is way
Good deal.
cheap because ESPN Plus alone to get fantasy information, that alone is expensive, and Hulu itself is $7.99 or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a heck of a bundle. Fallen would like for us to do a Star Wars podcast in the future because he's super excited about all.
I gotta watch all the movies then before then.
Yeah, that will be one we're gonna have to rewatch some movies and.
I think
Anyway.
it'd be cool if instead of like doing that, you know how we talked about like maybe the little primer thing, each one of us just picks a character out of the universe and gives a primer on them. What do you think about that?
I could do it.
I think that'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. All right, that sounds fun. I'd do that.
Anyway, that's it for me. I think we handled this one really well. Don't forget to check out the YouTube videos. This will be our 4th one that goes up next Friday that
Yes.
I've been a part of.
Yes.
I think we're getting close to 10. Is this number 10?
I think so. It's getting close to 10. The Spotify link will be up soon. I had to rip all the files from Audacity, so that took forever. So we'll get this one up there as well.
Okay.
And if you watch it, please feel free to, like I said, we'll put the link to the cinematic for Magic Legends underneath the stream or underneath the YouTube video. And then please feel free to add your comments, your suggestions, your questions you have for us, and we will definitely answer them. And we hope to see you next time.
So this has been Nerdlore. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Bye.